Upskilling and Reskilling. In today's episode, we welcome Ben and Denzel. They're going to be our guests for today. So welcome, guys. Okay, good. So Ben, give us a bit of background about yourself. Tell us more about who Ben is. The same for Denzel. So we start with Ben.
Okay, my name is Ben, like we just established. I born and raised here in Windhoek. I think if you just have to jump straight into what I do or how I came into tech and software development to be specific, it was more of a curiosity thing. Many years ago, computers had this power supplies at the back, had this switch, right, where you switch the voltage. It's 128 and 240. Yeah, I switched it to 128, plugged in a 240 socket, and then switched it on. I never understood for the life of me why that PC burned. That curiosity, just I kept pulling on that thread, and fast forward 9-10 years later, here my knees deep in the industry. That all started with an accident and just a curiosity, and I think that's just tech in general. Curious people trying to come up with new ways to do things. So that's how I got into that, and then amongst other gaming, that's me in the free time. But yeah, it's mostly tech.
Okay, good. Denzel, Mr. Nasty, not in terms of modeling, but in terms of performance. Yeah, he was best second year student.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, good. So yeah, tell us more about you.
My name is Denzel, and I'm a third year cybersecurity student now at NAST, and I got to want to study cybersecurity. It was in this other competition that we went, this other hackathon, and I had to see leaders, the cybersecurity team. I think it was from BCX that came, and they were presenting their own projects that they wanted to do, and they were giving students tasks like to maybe come up with a system and patch those systems and secure those systems. So I just got yeah.
Good. As for some of us, I can't even recall. I found myself into tech, but I think I never thought of doing tech. I was more into engineering. That's where my mind was, but it happened. I found myself into tech, and I'm enjoying it. So, with regards to our topic today, we have to discuss upskilling and reskilling. So, you're already in job industry, still at school, third year students. So, what can you tell us about upskilling?
Okay, so in my own opinion, I think upskilling is like learning new skills, or depending the skills that you have, your existing skills that you have in a specific field of study or in a specific job role that you are doing. So I feel like if I'm upskilling as a cybersecurity student, I'm going further. Like at NAST, they give us the theoretical aspect without much of the practical part. So as myself, I decided to upskill by doing my CH with Mr. Lucky here. He's helping me with it. So yeah, I'm sitting for that exam in June. Yeah. That's what I think. Yeah.
Okay, and Ben, reskilling?
Reskilling. It's a beautiful part about the industry and the school. I can just sort of take what you just said now exactly and just build onto that. Because what happens is, what you learn at school, I guarantee you 9 out of 10 times you won't find that in the industry. They teach you what's a server, what's this, and then you go in the industry and then it's night and day. You wonder, this server here, you come, you get a 40-gate firewall there that you never saw in your life, and you are now all confused and whatnot. Or you finish and you graduate, you get in the industry, then you realize, I majored in software development for myself. But then software development has nothing to do with being a sysadmin. Now I have to reskill. They'll take what this Java and whatnot, forget about it for a second, and try and study sysadmin. I'm studying networking and do N plus, sort of detour a bit from what you did in school. So I think, in my opinion, that's more of reskilling. It's basically just taking what you already did at school, seeing is it relevant in what you're in the industry or whichever job you got, and if not, try and sort of find other stuff. Well, I would.
Yes, I have a story to tell you guys related to upskilling and reskilling. So with upskilling, I think it was 5 years or few years back, like more than 5 years. So we were part of a competition, international cybersecurity competition with some of the guys. Now in the group, 2 of us were not busy doing masters, but the rest either had masters or busy doing masters. Now a friend of mine, myself, we just finished with NAS, like the degree level, so we're waiting for the next year to start so we can go with our honors. So now as part of this competition, I selected the different individuals to be part, and the criteria that I was choosing was based on like, okay, this guy is already having masters, so it's gonna help us and all that. So come to the competition, we started from 2 a.m. Namibian time, because it was an international one, so time zone and all that. So from 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. we only managed to secure five points, while the Indians and the Americans were at 1,000. So, and that 5 points, only God knows how I really got that 5 points. So I got that 5 points, and I was just done with my degree, and these individuals were busy with their masters or had their masters. So after that, I told myself, you know what, there's a huge problem here. And I told the guys, you know what, we need to go and learn, we need to go and reskill and upskill. Because some were doing like, let's say, networking and all that. So it was like a cross-field competition. So even if you did digital forensic, you'll be able to secure some points. But we only managed to get 5 points for all those hours from 2 to 2 again. So I really see the need, especially for us in the tech field, to keep on learning, so keep on improving the existing skills that we have, and sometimes to acknowledge that these skills might not be relevant for the industry anymore. Let me reskill in something else, or let me just bring it as an add-on. Because if you're owner of a company, why would you hire 2 people to do 2 jobs? But I would prefer to take someone that can do 2 jobs, because when it comes to salary, if I have to pay each like 5,000, but now this guy can negotiate with him for 7,500, so I'm saving as the owner of a company. So those are things that you also have to start considering, that it's important for us to upskill and reskill. Now when you upskill, you also become a value for your company, because you become so critical that they will not want to let you go. So you become a key asset for the company, so they're going to keep you. And I've seen it as well in my past life. So yeah, it's important to upskill and reskill. Good. So Ben, tell us, I've kind of said about my experience in terms of upskilling and reskilling, but tell us what value do you see in reskilling in the job market?
Okay. When it comes to reskilling, I like telling people, like, by the time we're done with this discussion, there will be 100 new things on the market in terms of tech. In a 10-minute conversation, there can be 1,000 new websites, there will be 10 new applications, So it's crucial to actually keep on studying, stay relevant, and reskill every single time. Because whatever search you did 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it's almost irrelevant right now. Because of what changed in that space of 3 years. We had the COVID, for example, recently. Almost the whole world switched to online and working from home overnight. Now imagine people who used to do, let's say you would troubleshoot your server from the office normally, walk into a server room, try and troubleshoot it. But now you can't walk into a server room, Now you need to know how to use your team viewers. You need to be able to set up your server in such a way that it's secure to log on remotely, using your TeamViewer. But that's a whole new skill. You didn't do TeamViewer at school, you need to learn how to do that, you see. So it is crucial to actually reskill when it comes to the job market, and it keeps you relevant, If a company can find you useless after 5 years if you didn't improve on anything, So it's very important, and I feel like it's a must especially in our tech.
But now, what can you say that the challenges that people face that makes it so difficult for them to reskill or to upskill? Because not everyone is doing it. So there might be something as like a barrier to that. So what do you think is the challenge that they face?
The biggest and the most obvious challenge is funds.
Okay.
I think that's the most obvious one. It's funds. Your certs, because we are in a space now where reskilling, unfortunately, is you getting new certs and upgrading on your certs or going back to school. But then it can be something as simple as just learning a new skill on Coursera. You know. But then the challenges are faced with time constraints. Sometimes it can be just managing, like how can you do your 8 to 5 and still have time to go on Coursera or Udemy and try and learn a new skill, you know. So I feel like it's time management might be one of the challenges people face when they don't do it. Complacency, you just get comfortable.
I think that's the biggest challenge that they face. Yeah.
You just get complacent and then you just get comfortable.
Because let's say for someone that have worked for 10 years in that position, the likelihood for them to want to go and learn something else when they move to another department is not high.
It's not high.
So, and you also have to look at like the generations. Like most of these people that are working, like let's say like at management level, most of them are not in the 20s. So these guys, I would really say they're more in comfort zone. So you find them, they've been in the company for 20 years and so this guy to change, it's so difficult.
It's difficult.
In my previous job, one of the companies where I've worked, one question that came was, HR was asking like, why is it that the AMA 2000 generation keep on changing jobs while the late generation did not do that? And I thought that, you know what, in the past, it was so difficult for you to get, let's say, job opportunities. And so when you get it, it's like you hold on it. And now, what's happening is that skills is what really determines your chances of getting jobs and getting like that big salary and all that. So now these individuals have recognized his skills and he knows that I will not be comfortable, I will not just be in a comfort zone to stick to this company. Let me make use of my skills. So let me go out there and people, like now you get a lot of headhunting. So people are coming after you because they can use technology to do that. But in the past, that wasn't there. So you'll have to see someone that will live like far, like let's say Bulawayo, all the way to come look for a job, let's say in Harare. You see, so he has to walk to come there to come look for a job. So now, if he has to leave this job to go look for another job again, it's too much effort. But now, we don't have that. So people are getting that flexibility to keep on changing jobs. So I think when you have upskill and you have reskill, you create value, and now that value will determine the money that you even want from that company. You will now be at a position whereby you can choose jobs. So that's also one advantage that one can make use of. So forget about the barriers, forget about the challenges, but look at the opportunities. So if you upskill and you reskill, you become a key asset and you become a key person in your industry. So anyone would want to have you. So I think we should not focus on the challenges. We should look at more on opportunity side of things. So what are the challenges you have faced in upskilling there at NAST?
Okay, for me it's the balance between schoolwork and my CH, because at school projects are demanding. Let's say in a week we have 3 or so projects that we have to do, and we have to present, and we have tests as well, and preparation for exams. And I also have Mr. Lucky demanding for CH.
And you see like your girlfriend as demanding for attention.
So I feel like it's a lot going on, but I believe in planning, like time management is crucial, as in how you plan your things. As in this time I'm doing my schoolwork, I'm working on a project. This time I'm working on my CH practicals, and this time I have also my social life also.
Because you see, what I would say when it comes to time management and planning, when I was doing my CISP exam, it was so difficult because now you still have to focus on university. I was doing my honors and I had a full-time job. So after work, you go to NAST, you do your honors, you come back home, it's like 9. So, and I was already staying with my wife, so we're staying together. But I told her, give me 1 month, whereby even if I come out and don't talk to you, just understand because I need to get this set. Once I get this set, it's gonna give me that value, it's gonna give me that credibility, and you will see the reward later on. So even now, if you go and ask her, what is that? Which set was he doing that really took his time and all that? She would tell you that says me because I took an entire month where I was so focused on it, said nothing else. So even kissing my wife, I did not do. I'm joking. So I just focused on that set. So I think we should look at more on the rewards, the opportunities that you're gonna get, because if you just think of the challenges, you get nothing done. And nothing grows out of comfort zone, so you need to get out of it. And one guy that I used to follow a lot, but he passed, is a Nigerian guy. So what he said is that if you want to get out of trouble, you must enter trouble. You get it? So you must enter trouble to get out of trouble, because if you're not in trouble, how are you getting out of trouble? So you must enter that trouble to get out of trouble. And it's only by entering it that you start seeing the bigger picture. So like now, you can say, okay, fine, let me finish with NAST, then I can go to my certifications. But you will not really understand the pressure that it comes with. So when you even get that certificate, you're not excited about it. It's like, you don't really feel special. Like, after getting my CSP, I felt so special.
Yeah.
You know, at that time I was the youngest to have it in country. But now others did, and I'm so proud that most people that got it even after me are people that I know, and some that I even shared my resources with. And these are things that you need to do. Encourage each other in upskilling and reskilling. Good. So next question I'm going to ask you guys is that when you look at the different industries that you have, even within tech, what are those fields or what are those industries that you see that they're like, they really require you to upskill or reskill? What are those industries?
Banking for one.
Okay.
That industry requires you to upskill a lot, especially if I to stay on topic or in tech. The banking you need, especially in your guys' side now with cyber, even software wise, it's I would say the banking industries, those guys require a lot of upskilling because you need to follow your latest best practices. Because what was the best?
Also, like the regulations.
The regulations
keep on changing.
Your ISOs, those guys, they're forever updating those things. You know, you need to keep up. You need to keep up with it, with those changes. Most is regulations. So banking, health.
How is health really changing? Because I don't think the way you inject people, or the way you used to inject 100 years ago is still the same thing.
No. I'm referring not to the tech side of stuff.
Okay.
The actual practice
so
itself.
which means it's more tech that came that brought the revolution into this different industry. So tech is like the core.
Yes.
So tech is the one that is so dynamic. Okay.
Yeah, because just take hospital records, you know. Okay, I really get sick, so but then hospital records is normal. There's cabinets of files and what everything is digitized now. You know, most countries stuff are digitized. Not really Namibia. We're still behind in that aspect. You'll still be surprised. You'll find files and drawers, and I'm just like, yo, you go to Norway, there everything's digitized. You can log into a site and see your whole entire medical history from when you were born. You know, and all that comes with its own challenges. You know, and its own skills that are required from us now, individuals in the industry. So most of these changes and challenges in industries will be tech related. I feel like, because tech is the one that brings all these changes. You know, yeah.
Okay. Good. Yes, Benzel. Anything that you can add on what you said?
Yeah, like when I was talking about the banking, I think that one is the most important one. Yeah.
Why? Because of money.
Everyone wants money, so they can do anything in order to get access.
Okay, that's true. So which means that they are kind of forced to keep on learning new trends from these malicious users and upskilling themselves to defend against these malicious activities.
Yeah, as we have evolving threats coming in.
Yeah. Okay, so during your process of upskilling, you mentioned that time management was a challenge. So what would you have done better, apart from time management, to not to face the same challenges that you're currently facing, because now you have to pause your CH to finish your school first. So what would you have done better or differently?
Okay, I feel like I cannot pause my CH, but what I can do is that I can continue with it, because most of the concepts that I learn in CH, they are also in my theoretical aspect in school.
Now, why are you doing both? Because I remember when I was doing sysadmin networks, so in my second year, I also registered for Cisco CCNA.
Yeah.
Now, then I was like, what you're doing at CCNA, we're also doing it here. So it's like I'm just paying double. Then I had to cancel with CCNA certificate, just get my degree. Then from there, see what else can I do. That's when I realized that cybersecurity was the best. So that's how I reskill. I moved from sysadmin and networks to cybersecurity. But again, at the same time, I had to make that decision to say, like, let me not pay for two things that are just kind of like going to give me the same results, with like the same skills. It's just the papers are going to be different, but the skills are the same. So why not doing the same to say, okay, fine, I'm going to get the cybersecurity degree, and here I'm doing CS, which is ethical hacking, and I'm also doing ethical hacking as a subject in NAST. So why do you have to do both?
Okay, I feel like if I do the practical aspect first and I understand the concept, so it can deepen my knowledge in the theoretical side that we do it at NAST.
Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like if I'm doing this practical, then when I go to school, I feel like it's a walkthrough.
Okay. So is that something that you believe, or you have someone might have shared the experience, or you have seen people doing that and it worked for them? So yeah, what motivated you to go with that route? Yeah.
Okay, I have tried that. Like I was going through like the CH book and covering a lot of concepts, and I was just checking in almost all the modules. They just ask the same stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but in a different way. But
now, what if it's CH that copied the University of University? So what do you think? Who copied who? I'm kidding. So yes, Ben. So when it comes to companies, do you think it's important for them to encourage their employees to upskill and reskill?
It's not just important; it's crucial, because as a company, you want to be ahead, or let's say together with the rest of your competition, the rest of the other companies in your industry. The only way you can do that is through your employees. You see, the building can get a certification, you know, but those 10, 15 people you employ, the more they grow, the more the company grows in terms of, let's say, even the public light. You know, there are some, for example, if you apply for this reseller things, or this type of, how can I say, distributor type of partnership agreements. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Partnership agreements with other companies like HPEs and the likes. The kind of certifications you have in your company sort of reflect on those websites. You know, it brings you at the top of other companies. So
your partnership levels becomes better.
Yeah, it becomes better just of the growth of a company. So it's important for your employees to actually have those skills.
But how is that important to the employee? Because now the employee might also feel like, okay, I'm doing it for the company, but now what do I benefit as an individual? Because yes, they're going to get the paper, which is the certificate, but what if this company that I'm working with only deals, like their vendor specific, so meaning they only deal with like Cisco products, and the certificate that I'm getting a Cisco certificate. But now, if one day I leave, I go work for a company that does HP. There's a possibility of these certifications not being relevant here anymore. So what do I benefit as an individual, or what would encourage me to go for that route, or to give my best?
So I would use a very simple statement: personal growth. Or put the company aside for once, for just a second, and then yourself. So take it as you are growing your own skills, your personal skills. So in as much as it's benefiting the company, it's also benefiting you. So it's sort of a win-win situation. And if it's okay, like you said, if it's a vendor-specific company, you can decide, okay, these guys are doing Cisco only. Let me try and do some other sort of, let me do N+, you know. So if you pair the two, you become valuable for other companies as well now. You personally. you know. So it's not, you might not be the company forever until you die. You might want to go look for a job one day. So it's important for you as a person. So
what I also see is that while you do more certifications, even these certifications are specific to this vendor that's going to be beneficial to the company. The more you will have it, it becomes so difficult for the company to let you go.
Yes.
Because you know that if you go, if the partnership level was, let's say, platinum, and if you leave, they go back to silver. They will not want that. They want to discuss with you. So that, that's why you create now value to the company. And I've seen it. Like I used to work at one company that whereby few of us were at professional level. So you can see the the respect or the consideration that you get is different from others. The attention that you get is different from others. So it also becomes beneficial to you. And when it comes even to increments and all those things, you guys will be seen already like, these guys, they deserve it. And because they're also concerned that if you let them go, the competitors will take you. So you create value for yourself, and it's more of like you are not demanding from the company, but the company is kind of forced to give you what you deserve. So it's a good thing to do. So yes, Denzel, so tell us, how would the universities encourage upskilling and reskilling? Or are they doing it?
Yeah, I believe in the tech side, like cyber security, we normally have hackathons.
Yeah.
So they are sort of incentives that the guys offer, that if you work on this, you get maybe internship, or if you come out to be the best, you might be given a job offer, a contract, specific, So I believe like it's sort of encouraging students to do the stuff and do the work.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So what I've also seen is that at universities, such as like NAST, as part of the competition, the cybersecurity competition, when you take part of in that competition, you realize that one is that maybe you have some gaps, so it gives you an opportunity to upskill, or sometimes to reskill, because you only know maybe networking, you don't know sysadmin. Now when you come there, you cannot even interact with a server, so you realize, no, I need to get this skill as well. So you might see opportunities by taking part. So that's also one way for universities to encourage students to upskill and reskill, knowing that the curriculums are usually like 5 or 10 years behind where the world is. So those are different initiatives that you can take to encourage students to be relevant to the industry.
Yeah, I would also share like in our competition, the NMCSS, like the
Namibia,
team,
what is it? Namibia Cyber Security Competition.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Namibia or national?
National.
Namibia national.
Namibia national.
Yeah, Namibia National Cyber Security Competition. Yeah.
So it was like the red team. They managed to penetrate into our Windows, operating into our server, Windows server, but we managed to secure the Linux, which means we're lacking gaps in that Windows server.
Yeah. So, but which also tells you that the hackers lack skills in Linux.
Yes.
You get it. So it becomes a win-win for both parties. So which is a good initiative for NAS to do, because now they're helping the students to upskill, reskill as well. The same for the industry that especially the professionals that are coming. It's also helping them to upskill and reskill, because now when they're coming, they realize that I'm only good in hacking Windows. Linux, I'm not good. And most of us that are in tech, you will realize that few people are good with Linux. And majority of those that are good with Linux started working with Linux at a very young age. Now this one, I just use computers at university. A lot of them are struggling with Linux. They just go for Windows because they want that easy access. And I remember when we were doing IT at NAST, we had, which is different now. So we had sysadmin networks, we had not informatics, it was business computing, software engineering. So if you know you're weak, sorry, just majority will go for business computing. And it was full of ladies, that course. Then if you are somewhere there, you go for sysadmin networks. Now if you think like you have made it, you go for software engineering. But not many of them also made it with software engineering. A lot dropped or changed, go to other fields.
Yeah, it's another based on its own.
So a lot of people like not manage to do it anymore. But now we had an opportunity to upskill or reskill as well. So because when you reach to honors level, you don't find these courses anymore.
Yes.
So you get like, let's say, information security, digital forensics, mobile application, I think, or mobile development, and you get, I think, I don't know if it's web or something like that. So it was totally different. So yes, here I did business computing, but when I come to my honors level, I might easily change to something else. So that's also one way universities are also encouraging people to reskill or to upskill as well. Good. Okay, so Ben, as a company, you are busy doing all these upskilling and reskilling initiatives and programs. Now, what will be the return on investment for a company?
Okay, one thing I've noticed or came across in the industry is that it's always cheaper to do things in-house.
Okay.
It's always cheaper to do it in-house. So what happens is now, when it comes to how you get your return on investment is, I'll give you a story actually. Recently, I was at the company where we had a sort of a system where to not maintain, but it was sort of it was crashing a lot. So because of the load, so it couldn't handle the load. So the idea
was a denial of service.
not really.
Yeah.
So it couldn't handle the load it was getting, right? So the idea was to get a consultant from the industry, and that's part of discussions, right? So get a consultant from the industry, get a quote, maybe come check the system, and then try and see how to fix this, what was happening. It was gonna cost the company at least $100,000 million, just for the guy to come and fix something, probably take him 2-3 days tops. It's gonna cost the company at least 100,000 plus. But then I decided, okay, I took the initiative. Let me see this source code. Let me see what I was dealing with. And so it's just for me to get there, and it's Python. So now I've learned Python overnight. I know the basics, but I don't know your whole API interactions in the Python programming language. So I had to go back, YouTube, and all this. And you just went to Google the problem, get some help from your Stack Overflow on GitHub. You get your assistance, and we managed to solve the problem. You see. So, and at the same time, I learned a new skill, and I learned a new way of doing stuff in Python. You see. So, in a manner, I sort of reskill or learn something new, because reskilling is basically just saying learning new things. So I ended up learning Python on a whole different level that I didn't know even existed yet. You see. So, and that's how this saved at least 100,000 that they were going to spend on someone just to come and fix something, and then you pay them and they go. So that's how you tend to measure and see how you can save money as a company by reskilling.
And maybe what you can also do as a company, that after saving that 100K, what you can do is that maybe give 10% or 1% to these individuals, just to encourage them to keep on learning, because you as a company know that the more they're going to learn, the more you're going to save. So so it becomes a win-win situation. So yes, then in terms of your upskilling, and right now you're not yet doing reskilling, so you're still in your upskilling, because you're still within your field of cybersecurity. So what are the resources that you make use of for you to upskill? And in what areas are you currently upskilling? Because cybersecurity is broad.
Okay, so I'm upskilling. I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing my CAH now, and so I just decided, like, let me just leave this NAST thing a bit. Then I focus more on the on the practical aspect. Because that's needed in the industry.
But is there any platform that maybe you can share with the rest that are related to upskilling in cybersecurity? Like what platforms that you can make use of that are going to make it easier for them to upskill? Or cheaper for them, or maybe the resources of access is free? Yeah,
okay, there are also there are EC Council. EC Council, they offer, they have some vouchers that are cheap. I think they're not really
Oh yeah, I
expensive.
see those short,
Yeah.
short sets.
Yeah. You learn a lot,
Yeah.
like penetration testing using netcat, master Wi-Fi, ethical hacking. You can also do that.
Yeah.
So
I think at some point they advertised for 1.99 USD.
yes.
So
And
in less than $49 million, you can
Something.
gain some skills, and which you can start even selling again to others and get your return on investment, and you still have the skill that you can keep on reselling. So
yeah, and it was sort of a package, I think, with 14 modules or something.
Yes, correct. Yeah, correct. Okay.
I see those pop up on my Instagram ads. Yeah, those skills. I see what you're referring to.
Okay. I don't use Instagram. I only use TikTok for research as well. What I've discovered is that many people are now sharing skills on TikTok. So even though many go there for funny videos and all that, but you can learn a lot on TikTok. There's a guy from Cameroon, I just forgot the name on TikTok. So you always have sessions where you discuss hands-on ethical hacking. So it's a good channel. Maybe I will maybe just put it in the description for people also just to go and learn one or two things there. Yeah. So it does sometimes this Metasploit, how to use Metasploit, even though it's beginner level, but for someone who's trying to learn something, they can go there and get something, because most people are excited about hacking, so they can go and learn and become hackers as well.
So also try it.
So I don't know if you guys have noticed that right after COVID, remote work have became it's like a trend now, remote working, and I think it also creates an opportunity to reskill and to upskill, because now with your skills you can almost sell it anywhere in the world, and no one feels like the trust has kind of disappeared. So you can still pay on a certain platform and hope to get classes from this individual who's selling their skills. So how do you see, let's say, how do you see remote work being a motivation to upskill and reskill?
I think I would say let's take the money aspect, because that's what we all want at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Getting paid in euros is way nicer than getting paid in $1 million. So that in itself is already a motivation to wanna upskill or reskill to sort of work remotely. So let's say I'll take it on my side with software development. If you wanna work remotely, you need to be super good with GitHub and Git, because it's you and 100 people collaborating on one project. So you have to. If you don't have GitHub in your toolkit, you need to reskill and try and get GitHub in your toolkit or Git, because that's one of the core, I may say, platforms that developers use when it comes to working on platforms remotely. So I would say, back to the question as to what's the motivation for working, remotely, it's the money aspect. That's the best, and just the flexibility. If you're not bound to your 8 to 5, you go to this place, building, and you have to sit there, and then you have 1 hour in the day, you can move, and then you have to back again. You don't have that flexibility as you would have if you work from home or if you work remotely. So I think that would be that's one of motivational factors that you can have to want to reskill or upskill in the direction of working remotely. Just the flexibility. And the money, getting paid in foreign currencies is always nice.
Yeah. Yes, there's a...
Okay. Like what you said, the flexibility part is in you have time to do also other things apart from that specific work that you are doing. So I feel like you are like multitasking, doing things at the same time, and you're also benefiting.
Okay, good. So many people are facing a challenge whereby we all want to upskill and reskill, but sometimes you realize that you have too much to do. Like there's just too much. You don't have the time, and it might also be you don't have money, you don't have ABCD. So what can you tell this individual?
That they want to reskill, but
they want to reskill, they want to upskill, but the load is just too much on them. So what can you tell them?
Okay, so when it comes to managing tasks, for example, one of the key aspects of.
Do you know that on CVs you all say that I can work under pressure?
Yeah, of course.
Pressure comes.
When the pressure comes, and then I work with an intern who just broke out in tears in the server room. So yeah, it's not easy.
Yes.
But what I would say is time management.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole skill on its own.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can go on YouTube and find videos talking about time management, how to better handle time, and all that. But then, together with all that, there is this little word that Lucky likes to use also sometimes. Discipline.
Mm.
You need to be disciplined. So it's pointless having all this knowledge about time management, but you can't actually apply it. You know. So discipline is one thing, and it's not an easy thing. I'm not disciplined sometimes. You know, you have to force yourself to do certain things. So I would say if you have all this load, time management. But then at the same time, you need to be disciplined as well. See, so try and find. Don't just jump on and go like, okay, I'm going to spend 2 hours on this every day. 2 hours is a long time.
Yeah.
You know, you can start with 10 minutes. You can start with 5. I'm going to read for 10 minutes. I'm going to read a certain topic. You see, it's an achievable goal. It's an achievable something.
Yeah.
You see, so you can decide in your lunch break at work, that hour you have that is yours, that is not built. You can sit there with your lunch box and a YouTube video, 15-minute YouTube video, and learn something. You see, so I feel like that's one thing. You set your achievable goals as opposed to, because people want to do things that 2 hours every day or an hour 30 minutes on this topic. It's
What I also think is that
it's difficult.
If you want to do something as bad as you want to breathe, as Eric Thomas said, if you want to succeed as bad as if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, only then will you be successful. So if you know that by upskilling and reskilling, I'm gonna get this reward, and you put it there, and you need this reward, I think there will be no barriers. You'll be able to achieve it. And I also tell people that the big E, never use it like excuses. I cannot get this done because. Think of why should you get it done? Once you have that in your mind, you get it done. So it's the same I did for my CSP, knowing that once I get that CSP, at that time like there were less than 5 people with CSP in the country, so I was like, if I can make in that top 5, I know I'll earn the respect. You see, and for me that was a target. And I made it. So looking at the reward, forgetting about the excuses, and just telling yourself that it's a do or die, you manage to upskill and reskill even though you're going through a lot of things. So yes, Denzel, on your side, what are you going to tell us as a student? What do? Do you just give up?
No, for the students, I think they should let's say they are done with their schoolwork, they are nurse from 8 to 4, and others are part-timers as well, from 5:30 to 10.
9, yeah?
Yeah.
9:25, I think.
Yeah. So I feel like discipline, like what you said, discipline, time management, and planning is crucial, because I feel like when you're a student, you should have like a specific time that today, every day, I'm gonna learn new things. I have to feed myself with new information. Like today, I have to go on EC Council and I'm gonna achieve this. I'm gonna learn about digital forensics and I have to achieve this. So the next day, you have also to upskill from what you learned as you go. That's what I think. Yeah.
So like now I've given myself a target with regards to upskilling. When I look at our group CISO, so our group Chief Information Security Officer, this lady sits at the board of EC Council. This lady is on Forbes. This lady is, I think, 2 masters. So just looking at that, to me, that's a motivation. And because I want to upskill, because no one, I don't know if there's anyone that wants to be at the bottom. I want to be at the top. So if I want to be at the top, I need to look at what top people have achieved. And for me, by all means, I need to try. Like, at least I need to know that I have tried, but because of things that are out of my control, I could not achieve it, but I have tried. So like right now, I'm upskilling. That's what I'm doing, like the CompTIA CASP certificate. And after this one, I'm already thinking of CISA. I want to do CGIT, all these certifications. So that there's a guy also on LinkedIn. If you just look at his LinkedIn profile, like you think like you have not done anything. And you realize that, no, I have to upskill and maybe risky because the guy is also into digital forensics. So he has put all his sets there, like on his under his name. So you see all the sets. Now you're like, I only have maybe 2, 3. Now this guy is like hundreds. So I need to go and and achieve it. And you're not looking at it like in a bad way to say like, no, you are being jealous and all that. But you look at it as like a motivation to motivate you. So look at what other people have achieved can also help you to upskill and to reskill, even though you're going through challenges, because you all have challenges. Like after work I come home, I have a wife to look after, I have kids, all that. So it's also a challenge on its own, and you might have other things to think of. Like some of us that are farmers, so you have to think of your animals as well. But apart from all those things that you have, you just look at the focus. So you also have to focus, like, or refocus, come back and say, okay, fine, yes, I know I'm going through all this, but I wanted to be remembered at some point. That was like my slogan, to be remembered. So in some of my posts, you might even see on social media, I always used to say to be remembered, because I wanted that if this talk about people that have done something in cybersecurity, let's say in Namibia, in Africa, I want to be mentioned. So I wanted to be remembered. Now because of that, I need to keep on learning, because I'll not be remembered by just sitting there just saving like a CH. And I also told students at some point that the reason that I always do certifications or tell people to do certifications, because I use that as a motivation, I use that as a strength. Because now he's doing CH, I know that if I only have CH, we're going to be 2 now with CH. And you start looking at somebody else, will not look at me anymore because we have the same qualification. So now I need to go do something else. So like, no, I also want. So the more he's following me, so it's more of like, the more he's applying pressure on me, I keep going up. I keep going up. But now I need to also tell him to apply pressure on me. Tell me, I did my CH, I passed my CH. Oh, okay, I'm also going to do CH. So the more pressure is bringing, I'm also going up, and we're all going up. So that's one way that you can also upskill, reskilling. Not to say to use others, but to work with others, so you all achieve that upskilling and reskilling. So yes, what is that one thing or two that you want our viewers to remember about our topic of today, and maybe yourself as well? Yes, Denzel.
What I can just say.
Don't tell us that you're a better student than us. That will make it. So even though he did not invite me at his graduation, I've never attended any graduation, because even myself when I graduated, I never attended. But I'm going to attend for my masters because it's in the UK. You know, there's this guy in SA, Vusi. He's a motivational speaker. He's among the top 10 or 20 or so richest in SA. He's Vusi, something, yeah. So that guy said, yeah. So the guy said, how will you know that someone has a master's from UK? Then he said, they will tell you. So yes, so I'm telling him I'm doing my master's in UK. Cool. Yeah, so what do you want our viewers to remember about you and about our topic of today?
What I can say is hard work brings the dream work. I believe in hard work.
Hard work brings the dream work.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
but also work smart. So now you're saying hard work. Okay, cool.
Yeah, hard work. Because as for me, I think I'm a hardworking person. Because in whatever I do, I make sure I struggle, but I make sure I get it done. So I really work hard for it.
I don't think I will not agree. I would say you're hardworking and smart. Because I remember the first time I met him, and I even told him, so you'll not feel offended. I know that when I looked at him, I was just like, let me look at other people, because I was like, because I went to talk to the students. Then to him, I was like, this guy. And he went to sit at the back, so I wasn't paying much attention to him and all that, just because he was closer to me. But I was like, I don't think this guy is really here to come and learn. It's just maybe this guy just want to come look at the girls and all that. Now, I think after a week or so, he sends me a text. Now you are showing interest in certifications and all that. Like, out of all those students, he's the only one that texted me. I'm like, no, I need to know more about this guy. And with time I realized that no, he's a good guy. He knows his things. He's learning. He's like hardworking. He's really pushing. And I really don't know what's the drive, what motivates you to be like that. But keep it up, yes.
Thank you so much.
Good, yes, yeah, you can continue.
Okay, so also I think it's all about the strategy. What strategy you're using? Let's say for the students, you are preparing for an exam, but you have 2 days only for preparing for that exam. So you have to know, you have to strategize. You cannot go through all the slides. So what I think, you have to strategize your work, as in your study, to follow the course outline, what the course outline specifically says you must know in that module, and concentrate on it. I feel like it's strategy is more important.
Strategy, okay. Yes, Ben, what do you want our viewers to remember? He said he spoke as a student, so what he said is for students. So now I want to hear from you as a graduate. A graduate from, I don't want to mention the institution, but yes, what I remember about that institution, that most of the software developers or software development students, they are kind of better than for other institutions. They're kind of better because they've seen what they've done, and not like copying a source from a GitHub and all that, like from scratch. So yeah.
I live by a quote from high school actually. I saw it in grade 8 and it never left my head. This is another quote, it's a school's motto actually. It's in Latin, but if you translate to English it says, what's worth doing is worth doing well.
Okay.
You know, so I live by that motto. So if you are doing it, try your utmost best to do it as well as you can do it.
So not just do it.
No. It doesn't matter if it's just cleaning the room or just doing, doesn't matter how small it is, try doing it as well as you can. I say that because, and I'm directing this to people who work in the industry, if you're sending a simple email, go through that email, spell checks, you know, even if it's just a one sentence email you are sending, the grammar must be proper. You are doing it, so do it well, you know, and it reflects, you know, on it. It will be seen in like they say in the States, the proof is in the pudding, you know. So if you're doing work well, management will see it, the supervisor will see it.
So I remember at the time there was one of the doctors that we have in Namibia that mentioned that you guys must not follow Lucky, because if you follow him, he does so many things and all that, but it's not a good approach because you don't have to do many things, because you will end up being jack of all trades and master of none. Then I told the lady, what if you become a jack of all trades and master of all? And she went quiet, because I can do cyber security and I can still maybe master a few things in cyber or become a master in it. Go to networking, do the same. Go to system admin, do the same. So I've mastered all these 3 fields. I'm doing all these 3 fields. So now you should not limit yourself to that code. And it doesn't even stop there apparently. That code continues. But people just stop there. And it's just a way also to discourage people. But when you know what you want to achieve, and as I say that the more fields you know, or the more skills you have, becomes value, people respect you. So when you have that in your mind, you know, I should not just be good at one thing. I know, like Bruce Lee said that you prefer to fight with someone that have not mastered anything than fighting with someone that have just mastered one trick. Because once you punch you, you will make sure that all his energy is there. But again, what you forget is that you might come and put all your energy on this wall, it will not break. Now this guy that keeps on hitting, eventually you might break it. So it just depends on how you view it. So what I've seen is that many people believe, because I'm a tech guy, I don't need to do, let's say, PowerPoint. I don't need to learn how to take minutes. But it's totally wrong. You need these skills, because at some point in your life, you might be told maybe in a board meeting, okay, for today's session, because this person is not here, so take actions for us, do this, take note for us. But now you have never done it. So it's like you have jumped stages, now just for you to come and start doing things that you have never learned, but you had the time to upskill or reskill. So there's really a need for us, wherever you are, whatever positions that you're having, there's a need for you to upskill and reskill. And don't limit yourself to only your fields, because I'm into tech, and maybe my focus is cybersecurity, let me just learn networking. No, you can still go and learn something else. Like right now I'm doing banking, because I'm in the banking industry now, and I'm like, you cannot be in meetings, people are talking about bank words, and you're like, what is this? You get it? So it's always important at least you to come in and add some 1 or 2, or you to pick few things and be, oh, okay, cool, now I see. Like, I remember one lady once posted on WhatsApp saying that the repo rate went up now. As your partner, what is repo rate? You see who you are dating.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is true.
Yeah.
Many people don't know what is repo rate. So they just say, no, it went up, no, it went down, it went. What impact does it have my life?
Yeah.
You get it? So it's important for us to upskill and reskill, and not just to stick also to our fields, go beyond that, and that's how you create your value, that's how you create legacy, that's how you will be remembered, and that's how you, when students look at you, they know, okay, that's a guy. So most people now tell me that, no, I came from this interview and this person was asking me about you. I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm a star. And I'm like, yeah, it's because of the upskilling and the reskilling.
Yeah.
So if you do the same thing, you also get that. So thank you guys for coming. I hope to see you soon again, and all the best.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Cool.